To have a moment of silence for the following individuals: Arlene Ann DeGillette, graduate of the North Syracuse Central School District, and Ruth Iree of the North Syracuse Central School District. Thank you.
I just wanted to be here tonight to give you an update regarding where North Syracuse is at with the New York Inspires action that is coming out from New York State. Thank you. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. So New York State in November of 2024, they adopted 4 transformations for all school districts in the state. You may have heard of probably the most popular and well-known one called New York State Portrait of a Graduate. Oftentimes, New York Inspires, the work that's being done is referred to as Portrait of a Graduate, but for this sake, I'm going to refer to it as New York Inspires, and that one of the tenants that is a part of the New York Inspires is Portrait of a Graduate. They also, one of the other tenants is redefining credits and learning experiences, sunsetting the current diploma assessment requirements that we currently have, and we will eventually also move to one New York State high school diploma. So for Portrait of a Graduate, which is probably, again, the most well-known, there are different attributes that are a part of what they're hoping for with Portrait of a Graduate. They are hoping that all of our students are academically prepared with a strong foundation in redefined New York State learning standards. The New York State is going to be providing those redefined learning standards to us all within the coming years. So by the time that our students graduate, our students will be equipped to achieve success in college and career in civics and service, which is very important. We also are hoping to graduate students that are creative innovators. We are graduating curious, creative problem solvers who adapt to change and new challenges. We hope to have critical thinkers. Our students will know how to analyze and evaluate information, where they can identify patterns and connections with pieces of information, primarily between cross departments. So they really would love to see, English working more with science and English working with social studies to achieve that. We hope to graduate more effective communicators, where our students can articulate ideas through speaking and writing while engaging with diverse audience. Emphasis on global citizens. Our students will be able to employ civic knowledge and skills to promote sustainability and contribute to a more advanced democratic society. And finally, we want our students to be reflective and future focused. Take a look at what they're doing in their lives and identify their own strengths and create goals to help them achieve what they're hoping to achieve in life. So another one of the tenets is redefining credit and learning experiences. This is going to expand how students can earn credit through a more flexible, competency-based, and real-world learning experience. So what does this look like? New York State is requiring that we put into place climate and financial literacy courses. So for financial literacy in grades 8 through 12, that's starting for us this year. We've done an internal audit of our courses in grades 8 through 12, and we've identified the areas in which all of the standards are being met. We're very lucky to have a focus on this in many of our business courses, in our family and consumer science courses, and you may have heard about this class before, but financial algebra, that really has a lot of real world experiences for our students. In 27-28, we need to have this in K4. So by 27-28, all of our students and all of our grade bands will have a financial literacy piece. For climate, we think we can achieve this in grades 8 through 12 through earth science. So we'll really need to focus on K4 and getting it into place in K4 in the science program there. We need to make sure that we're identifying more CTE and NSCSD pathways. If you remember in the spring, I was here with my FACS ladies and we talked about the 2 pathways that we worked on all year last year to give to the state. The state has certified those. We now have the 2 family and consumer pathways, one in all aspects and another one in human development, which is our education courses. So we really want to expand and bring more of those pathways to North Syracuse. We will have more flexible credit attainment. New York State is saying that every single student in grades 8 through 12 needs to have 1 CTE credit. So we're working to identify where that CTE credit can come into play and what that's going to look like. And then expansion of elective offerings. So we recently had some professional development where we took a look at the job market that we have here in Central New York. It's really important for us to be able to equip our students with the skills that they need so they can stay here and they don't have to leave the area in order to go look for a job. And you can probably imagine our top employer with the most openings is healthcare. So what can we do in our schools and what can we provide to our students in order to expand our healthcare offerings and build those pathways so that our students are better equipped for job market and then careers. So why are we doing this? This, we hope, in New York State hopes, will increase student engagement. It will bring more real world learning opportunities. So we're taking a look at what can capstone projects look like. We are really wanting to expand our work-based learning offerings up at the high school. I would love to be able to come to you in a year and say, within the next 3 years, 100% of our students who graduate will have a work-based learning opportunity, whether that's a job shadow, whether it's an internship, whether it's through our career exploration internship program, but we want every single student to graduate with access to that. And in addition, community service and project-based learning. This provides more access to all of our students. It levels the playing field, no matter where you are coming from in the district. Every student will have access to this, and we as the district can help provide that. Flexibility that align with interests. So really figuring out what interests you may have and then aligning your coursework to those interests. And then again, enhancing accessibility to CTE programs. We're really going to be expanding on that. So another one is the sunsetting diploma assessment requirements. This is moving away from diploma assessment requirements and toward multiple measures of readiness and evidence. This is decoupling the New York State Regents exams from the diploma assessment, or I'm sorry, from the diploma. So we're assuming and we're guessing that the Regents are still going to be around, but students aren't necessarily going to have to pass a Regents exam in order to get that credit for the class. This is creating multiple pathways to demonstrate student proficiency, and again, creating those capstone projects, weaving in performance-based assessments and work-based learning into the options for students at the high. Why? Because this supports all students. It's an emphasis on skills and real world readiness. And hopefully this can reduce the test anxiety where they're sitting for a Regents exam for 3 hours and it's, they know that everything weighs on the test for this day. Taking that off the table and really having students demonstrate their learning in different ways will help students with that. The state has recognized that we need a variety of assessments that we're offering to our students and that Regents are not sufficient assessments for students to demonstrate their mastery. And they are also recognizing, as we know that we've got Micron coming in on the heels, we need hands-on project-based assessments where students can show that they are critical thinkers. You're going to be moving towards one diploma. It's to replace multiple diploma types with one New York State high school diploma that is paired with multiple seals and endorsements. One diploma will replace the local regents and regents with advanced designations. So those are the three that we currently have. This is going to be phased in with the 2027 cohort. So why this is, again, a focus on personalized learning. It aligns with the CRSE framework. Students are able to demonstrate their competency in multiple ways, provides students with choice. Currently, right now, we are able to put some seals on our diplomas. For example, we have the seal of biliteracy, which is offered to our world language students. We have the seal of civic readiness, which we had 254 students receive last year. And then, our CTE seals. So we've got 4 of those. New York State's also going to be providing all school districts with one common New York State transcript. Right now, schools design their transcripts. BOCES on that, but there's going to be one universal New York State transcript moving forward. So where are we right now? I just want to give you guys a little bit of a snapshot. Right now, we currently have the following pathways. The ones on the left are New York State approved. So you have to go through a process to get all of these approved. Some of you were a part of my process last year. It's pretty long and lengthy, but we have the individual arts assessment pathway for our fine arts students. We've got business marketing and business finance. Those 2 are up for recertification this year. I'll be working with the business department on that. Last year, we had human development in all aspects through FACS. So we have 4 CTE pathways. We also have seal of civic readiness and seal of biliteracy. Up at the high school, we also have, and these 2 are just like NSCSD, North Syracuse pathways that we've sort of started to create. We have the ELM pathway where we work in conjunction with OCC. And we also have stage production pathway that John Nadler has created, which is an amazing opportunity for us. So here's a little snapshot of the New York State timeline from beginning to where they finalized Portrait of a Graduate in 24-25 to where they're planning on going in the fall of 2029. I'll focus on this year. So for this year, we're waiting on the state right now. They are going to be sending out their prioritized learning standards. They are going to release more additional information on Portrait of a Graduate with their rubrics. And they've already stated that the financial literacy course is required for students this year, which we are doing with our students. So here's where we're at with North Syracuse. 24-25, a lot of it was building awareness in conjunction with last year. We do have the major life exemption on assessments, and we've worked hard with Kristen Hill at the high school, the executive principal, to identify which students may qualify for those exemptions. And we also have started to confer high school diplomas on students that has to be for parents that request that option. Last year, we continued to build awareness and we began communicating out. So we shared this with principals and directors. We shared this with district steering. That's another thing that we're going to be focusing on this year is building awareness with all of our stakeholders. We did a Portrait of a Graduate committee where we're really trying to take all of the information that we're receiving from the state to figure out how we're going to be working with our schools and departments on some of these new requirements. Drafted a blueprint for Portrait of a Graduate with North Syracuse. We identified climate and literacy options, financial literacy options, and those classes are listed on there. Like I said, we did an audit to figure out what courses were addressing what standards. We did the NICET approval for FACS, for CTE. We're beginning to identify additional CTE pathways and additional NSCSD pathways. That's something the direct department's on. And then for this year, we're going to continue to build awareness with stakeholders, starting with this Board of Ed presentation. We have information going out to parents in the newsletter that they'll receive in September. Our principals are prepared to offer additional information to families for Portrait of a Graduate. We're working with city BOCES to create a website that's dedicated to Portrait of a Graduate as well. On our prioritized standards from the state, as well as the Portrait of a Graduate rubrics. We're going to be taking business through their CTE approval. We are going to be surveying our students this fall to see what are they interested in? What pathways would they like to see at North Syracuse? And then we're going to continue to build the pathways and create a forward-facing document that our parents can see. And then this last, just a couple of snapshots of what are we already doing. We're doing a lot in our schools. You can see we've got elementary examples, high school examples, and middle school examples. We are a lot of this work already, so it's not completely transforming what we are already doing. It's just paying closer attention, making some slight adjustments to what we're currently doing so that, you know, we're meeting all the standards from the state. Question? Do I have to turn off? Yep. They haven't put a lot of information out. I just last year, Naomi and I actually went to a meeting where we learned what ESM is doing. And they actually built a class around capstone projects, which looked pretty cool. You know, the kids could really choose what their topic was and then choose how they were going to get in, which is like a presentation. But it seemed pretty neat what they were doing.
Action, Mr. Nadler.
That's our electromagnetical pathway. So it's more so in technology, science, and math, but it caters to our students who are interested in engineering, our students who may be interested in obtaining a job at Micron, and it can feed into the pathway up at OCC. It's a degree program. You know, students can take our classes and get farther along in that degree program.
Wanted to check.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. I just want to share a couple of things that I've done over the past week or two. And I just want to mention tonight for those families, I think you had to already sign up, but there was over 100 athletes getting sports physicals tonight at our high school. So that's something I think is North Syracuse, and I'm proud of that because as a parent, that I'm in another district and they don't offer that, it's really hard to get sports physicals. So the fact that we offer that to our athletes and our families, I think is great. So again, over 100 student athletes doing that. And, you know, spring or fall sports starts next Monday with our football team. And then consequently after that, other sports start. So it's timely for the sports physicals for sure. I had a chance I was invited by Chow Lee over to Rising Rock Stars visit last week. And I got to play Connect Four with one of our third graders. I won't say who won, but I just had a great time. So the reason I mentioned Rising Rock Stars is because we are able to apply for an additional 5-year grant that we're looking into. So hopefully we're kind of getting toward the end of our 5-year grant this year. So hopefully there will be new funding for us to be able to keep that going there. So that's all I have.
Board comments this evening?
I would like to share a bit of progress that I've been making with the goals that I shared with you guys. So I talked about student resources for post-graduation plans on any pathway that they would like. So I plan on collaborating with the Career Center and the school counselors to kind of rally all of the resources that we have into one place. And then I also plan on attending the CNS Student Walkthrough Day on the 27th. And hopefully I will have a handout by then, which covers a lot of the information regarding the post-graduation plans. And I'm also meeting with the student, I'm also meeting with the principal's cabinet for the summer meeting next week. And hopefully I will be able to collaborate with some of them on some ideas.
Motion to take B in. Office reports from May of 2020. Marketable and non-marketable. Architects for all. Any questions? Questions?
And I just want to welcome John Carter. He's there in the back. And so he's going to be with our security department. So he was part of Personnel B and he wanted to be here tonight. So thank you.
Do I have a motion to approve